So Dan has left the studio, but he's also left some very good ways to support him and what he's doing. And Echo Charles, speaking of support, maybe you could tell the troops how they can support this cause.
Sure, if they want.
If they want. And while they're supporting this cause, also support themselves. Which is important.
If they want,
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, very important.
I said important.
Yeah, you said it correct.
Yeah.
2 T's in that one, for sure.
Normally there's no T's in it for me. Important.
Yeah.
Important.
Kind of like the British accent. Sometimes they don't say the T's too, and sometimes they say them really solid.
Interesting.
Like they say, snap back to reality. They don't say the T. Reality. Or reality when they say it.
Interesting.
Nonetheless, back to support. Yeah, if you want to support your joints. This is how you support your joints, if you didn't know already. Jocko supplements. Good supplements. Krill oil. Super Krill. Jocko Super Krill oil and joint warfare. Supplements for your joints. Maintain them. Also, discipline. Pre-workout. Pre-mission. Cognitive enhancer plus physical enhancer.
Force multiplier.
Force multiplier.
Yeah. There's layers.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, it's like a blend. It's a good blend.
Yeah.
I am running low on the krill oil. I did not take my own advice for the subscription. Yeah, so I had to manually get some more. But hey, man, that's life sometimes. If you want to get on the subscription thing, re-up every month, right? Because it's a month supply.
You can pick.
Yeah. However much you take, and that's the smart way to do it. Totally is.
Joint warfare too.
Yeah.
Did you mention joint warfare?
Yeah, fully. It's the one. I think the combo is the best way to go for sure.
Recommend the combo.
Nonetheless, you get them at originmain.com. Good way to support yourself. That's a big one. Also at originmain.com, there are gis and rash guards for your jiu-jitsu journey. If you have chosen or will choose to go on that jiu-jitsu journey. There's no reason why not.
You should go on the jiu-jitsu
journey.
Yeah. And if you're going to ask, what if I'm small, big, large, overweight,
older,
underweight,
younger,
old, young, the answer is start jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
How do you get in shape for jiu-jitsu? Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Tim always says like, how he's been out of the jiu-jitsu for a long time. Tim Ford.
Yeah.
And he'll be
Timbo.
like, well, I gotta get back in shape.
No.
You're looking at the wrong way, man.
No.
Yeah, you go back to jiu-jitsu. The jiu-jitsu gets you in shape.
Yeah.
You'll be fine as far as getting in shape. You can suffer a little bit, but
might even suffer a lot.
Probably a lot.
It's hard. Got to be hard mentally for a guy like Timbo because he's a purple belt.
Yeah.
And so he's going to come and get beat by some white belts. I mean, not white belts, by some blue belts.
Yeah.
Some blue belts because some blue belts, they bring it.
Yeah, and they can keep bringing it, especially if they've been in there.
Because they got the Kaddish.
Yeah. So Tim would be like, come back, and it adds that level of anxiety because when you feel yourself you probably don't know this, but if you feel yourself gassing and you're like, shoot, I knew I was going to gas. Now you're really gassing. Now the anxiety goes up and you gas some more.
Is that how it is?
He'd want to avoid all that stuff. That's what I think. But, that's when you put all these weird expectations on yourself. That's my opinion in the jiu-jitsu. So just go into jiu-jitsu and learn jiu-jitsu. And when you do, you're going to want a gi if you do gi, because you can do no gi as well. But when you choose a gi, I recommend. You recommend?
I think there's only one recommendation.
I agree.
In all seriousness, there's only one recommendation.
Yeah. And I've been through a lot of gis. I have a lot of gi experience.
Yeah.
We'll say a significant amount of gi experience. And the Origin gi has proven legitimately to be the best one, kind of by far too.
Yeah.
There's this one that I used to use that was good, was fine, and it was like good.
Yeah. There's a difference though. There's a difference between this gi's good and then you get an Origin gi.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's funny, how when you get a new gi and rash guard or whatever, and you're kind of fired up to go train because you got your new gi.
Like the new kid with the new shoes.
Yeah, it's that.
I can run faster.
That feeling didn't wear off for a while.
Did you feel that when we rolled, when we were both wearing new Origin gis?
I did.
Were you fired up?
Yeah. Because Did
you think maybe it was going to be the day?
For the record, I always think.
Do you always think it's going to be the day?
Always, yeah.
Dang.
Because maybe one day there will
be
that day.
I always think it's going to be the day too.
Maybe it's not though. Maybe it will. I don't know.
Could be the day.
Yeah. Anyway, originmain.com. Get your gi there when you choose to get a gi. There's compression gear too, rash guards. If you do no gi, there's rash guards there too. All made in America.
Yeah, I was going to say all made in America.
Yeah.
Which is like it's no big deal. No, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal. Yeah. Made in America. Yeah. In Maine, in our factory, by awesome workers.
And it's not the kind where...
By craftsmen.
Craftspeople. People, man.
Some of them are females.
Yeah.
But they're craftsmen.
Yeah.
Men doesn't mean you're a man. It means you're a human.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Like modern man, like mankind.
Yeah, mankind.
Yeah, there you go. Right? So craftsmankind. Nonetheless, all made in America, yes. And that is a big deal. And it's not the kind where it's like, yeah, let's import all our things or whatever, and then we'll quote unquote make it in America, where you tick the one checkbox that it's like, yeah, technically it's made in, it's not that kind. No. It's the kind where they grow the cotton in America. What do they do after they grow the cotton? They harvest.
They harvest the cotton. They loom. They dye the cotton. Then they weave the cotton. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of steps, all done in America.
Yeah.
Blend the cotton, because it's not just cotton. It's an athletic. That's one of the problems with the old geese. They're all made just with cotton. They're like crap.
Yeah.
And then why would you not get modern technology? Well, why? Because they don't do jiu-jitsu where they're making the geese.
Yeah.
Now.
So like little issues that come up in jiu-jitsu, just little ones or big ones or whatever, when they come up in jiu-jitsu, I'll tell you what's cool. They don't know.
You put a Origin gi in the dryer, it's dry like quick.
Yeah.
And because it's not all cotton.
Yeah.
Because if you remember in the teams, cotton kills.
Sure.
Cotton kills because it gets wet and then it's heavy and makes you cold.
Jams you up.
Yeah, it doesn't dry quick enough.
Yeah.
You get the blend going.
Yeah.
Then you're good to go.
And there's all kinds of different weaves too, which is cool. Now let's go to originmain.com. You can check out whichever one you want. Hey, if you want something, get something. Also, what you want to do is go to the immersion camp if you want. So Jiu-Jitsu immersion camp, it's not like a training camp for ADCC.
No. It's an educational experience.
Yeah, it's like you immerse yourself in.
That you can modulate to the level of your personal commitment to getting after it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So some people will be there and they're going to be really sore every day because they're going to be getting after it hard. Some people are going to be their brain's going to be more sore than their body because they're going to be more looking at it from the education that they're going to get of learning new moves and techniques.
Yeah.
So that's what's cool about the immersion camp.
Or some of us, nothing's going to be sore because maybe it'll be sore for a little while and then we're just going to cruise a little bit, exercise the brain more, and then the body,
go back and forth.
Do whatever you like. Yeah, and there's a lot to go around. And it's kind of fun too. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, it's cool to hang out with just a bunch of people that are going to do jiu-jitsu for 7 days.
Yeah, and then they get like 5 tons of lobster.
And you don't have to stay there the whole time. Yeah, there's a first part and a second part. It's like the first few days, and then you can do the second few days, and then you can do all of them if you want. So August 26th through September 2nd.
Yeah.
We're going to be there. You know who else is going? No big deal. Dave Burke.
Yeah.
Dave Burke's got the bug. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, he's got the bug.
Yeah, he'll call me for just like verbal advice sometimes.
Oh, he be texting me about like guard passing.
Yeah, like positions.
I'm like, oh, really? Hey, let's do it. Let's communicate about guard passing via text.
Yeah. Hey, man.
You know what he's catching people with? What? Americana.
Yeah.
And
it's good.
It's an interesting conversation because, he says, oh, well, the Americana is like what I use the most right now. Mm-hmm. And I told him, like, the Americana is actually not a really effective move, right? Against anyone that has trained for a little bit.
Right.
Purple belt, you're not going to. You might catch a blue belt in an Americana. Mm-hmm. Purple belt, probably not going to happen. I did catch a black belt in Americana the other day, and it was like shame.
Right, like, I got caught with Americana.
Yeah, and this particular black belt was like shame. He hung his head in shame. He was like, he goes, Americana.
Yeah.
But I explained to Dave the reason that the Americana is effective for him right now, the most effective, I'm like, is it the first submission that you learned? Yes, it is. Yeah. So he's practiced it the most, and he's figured out all the little nuanced things that you have to do right in order to make a move work and the Americana work.
Yep.
So he's figured out some of those things because he's tried it a bunch. Even when he missed it, he learned something. Yeah. He didn't even know he learned something, but he learned something. Yeah. So he keeps trying, and he got good with so he's good at the Americana.
Yep.
He's not going against people that know how to defend it yet, which is going to be problematic. So you gotta. Yep. That's what happens.
But isn't that part of the whole learning process, though? Because
yes,
same thing. I mean, remember when? I'm assuming you had similar experience where, you do Americanas and you'd get them. And then
I did
after a while,
certain moves for years. Like for when I first started, my first good move was the Ezekiel. In fact, I used to call it the easy kill.
The easy kill, easy kill. That's what I thought it was.
That was one of, but it was. I learned it like one of the first submissions and then I just tried it all the time, and I got pretty good at it. But then you realize that it's not that hard to defend the Ezekiel. Eventually, when you start going against better guys, so then you got to move to I think the next move that I actually started doing a lot of was the Kimura, and I spent a couple of years at Kimura, and then I spent a couple of years at Crucifix, then I spent a couple of years at the straight footlock. Then just getting good at those positions.
Yeah. That's how.
But Dave Burke, back to my point, he's coming. He's coming to the camp.
Yeah.
And you know who else is? Oh, we'll see who else is going to come. We'll see if Leif.
Yeah.
I don't know if we all have to work.
Sure. Yeah.
I blocked this off though.
Yeah.
Which is sweet.
Yeah, it's really good fun. So yeah.
Cool.
Go, man. If you can make that, make that. What's the dates on them again?
August 26th through September 2nd. Oh yeah, and if you do want to come, you can go to originmaine.com and you go to Immersion Camp and you can sign up. Yeah, you can come and hang out. Eat lobster if you like lobster. Eat steak
if you like
steak.
Yeah.
Hang out in Maine. Yeah. Visit our factory.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I think you can go like paddling, stand-up paddling.
Stand-up paddle boarding and stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Also, good way to support yourself if you choose to vary up your workout. Make it a little less boring.
You always make it sound like I do these boring workouts, and I just realized I've been taking that abuse for quite some time. Well, my workouts are not boring, in fact.
They're boring and hard. So
they're hard, yeah.
So here's the thing, where boring is like just a complete matter of opinion, So to me, if you're going to do 20 rep squats, rest 20 reps, rest 20 reps until you're like, that's kind of boring. And
have you ever done it before?
Yes.
You've done that workout.
Not your exact one, but yeah, I did do 20 rep squats. In fact,
have you ever done 20 rep squats that you can only squat 10 times?
Well, that's physically impossible, but
no.
Yes, it is. If you can only do it 10 times, you can only do it 10 times.
No.
If you can do it 20 times, you can do it 20 times.
No.
That's it. That's not how it works.
No.
All right, Brad. Hey, look, take my word for it.
You can physically do it 10 times. Mentally, you do it 20 times.
Oh, okay.
And you do it 20 times. So you
imagine you do it 20 times. Okay, so look, if you can physically do it 10 times, I guess technically you're right. And I don't want to listen. I don't want to split hairs, but you're still not right. If you can do it 10 times, but you can do it 20 times, because look, if you can do something 20 times, you can do it 10 times. So yes, but what you're saying is something that you max out at 10 times. The weight you use to max out at 10 times, you do it 20 times. Physically impossible.
Mentally impossible, apparently, for Echo.
Oh, man. See. Anyway, back to the workouts.
Maybe that's where them skinny knees come from.
No, bro.
Maybe.
Anyway, if you want to vary up the workout, go to onit.com/Jocko. Get some cool kettlebells.
Yeah.
Get some battle ropes. Get a mace. Get 2 maces, a heavier one and a lighter one. Boom. Formulate a more interesting.
And I use them. So my workouts are interesting.
All right. Well, there you go. You have an interesting workout. Well, do it that way. That's what I would what do you say? Suggest.
Okay.
Anyway, go there. Onit.com. Good stuff in there. Don't get addicted to the website because there's a lot of good information too on there. Because you could, nonetheless. Also, good way to support. When you get the books that Jocko sometimes reviews on this podcast, we organized them on jockopodcast.com. Click on the top, it says books from the episode. I got all the books listed there. including little articles that, you know how sometimes you'll cover an article. I'll list those on there too.
How much research would you have to do if you knew nothing about this podcast or me? How much research would you have to do to figure out that we read books on the podcast and that they're all on JockoPodcast.com? The reason I ask this is because I've had people ask me on social media like a week ago, like on Twitter, like, do you like to read?
Yeah.
Right? Like that's you don't have to dig very deep
right.
to know that answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you like to read? Mm-hmm. Right? That this is a really low level question that doesn't take a whole lot of research to figure out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess, is that laziness? Or is it like, hey, this guy seems pretty accessible. I'm just going to ask him. There he is. I wonder if this guy likes to read.
I don't think the likelihood of it being laziness, because obviously it's going to be different for different people, but the likelihood of it being laziness is pretty low, I think. I don't think it's laziness at all. I think it would be a mix or one of these things. Yeah, they just want to ask you a question that you know, that you're going to have an answer to.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just new. Or maybe they know you from Extreme Ownership. And, you know, I know you wrote this cool book. Hey, do you like to read in general kind of thing?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't listen to your,
so I'm being too harsh, being too judgmental on my part.
If you're jumping to that conclusion that it's laziness or a dumb question.
Do you like to read?
Yeah.
Like we literally have a podcast about books that we read.
Yeah.
And then people say, do you have a list of books? Do you have any books you recommend?
Yeah.
Do you have a book list?
Yeah.
Do you have a reading list? These are all things I get asked on a regular basis.
Is this kind of like the time I asked you, hey, do you know of any gun ranges? And you said, yeah, go on Google and search gun ranges.
Yeah.
Kind of like that?
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah, I feel the same tone. Okay. Here's the thing: you never really know when people are coming in the game. You don't know what what their deal is or where they're coming from. So yeah, like maybe they just heard you on Tim Ferriss or Joe Rogan and was like, boom, this guy's super interesting. Let me go straight to him and start talking to him, kind of thing, or start asking questions rather than going on the internet. Let me research who this guy is and what he likes and doesn't like to do, etc., etc.
Am I lazy in the fact that when I want to know something, I'll Google it?
No, that's not lazy.
Okay.
That's not lazy. I don't think so.
All right.
As opposed to what?
I don't know. Saying
going to school and studying it first.
No, I guess that's another.
I guess that would be the alternative. Nonetheless, if you are feeling not lazy, actually this has nothing to do with laziness because this is more a convenience that I think would be I thought would be beneficial for people who are looking for the books that you cover and ways to get them. That's why I organize these books on JockoPodcast.com. Yeah, the website.
They're all there.
They're all there by episode.
And by chance, they're kind of in order of preference, in order of the way you should read them. Maybe I'd have to shift some of them now. Yeah, I should put them in a different order because there's some books that I read again. I was like, man, this should be near the top. I mean, About Face is number one. Yeah, right. You should read that book first.
Yeah.
People ask me that all the time.
Well, what's your favorite book?
I've already read Extreme Ownership. Is there another book you recommend I read? Well, and I've read all your books. Yeah. What book should I read next? About Face by Colonel David Hackworth.
Yeah, that's like your main one.
Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, I organize them by episode.
Yeah,
so the most recent episode with book.
But if you go back to episode 1, which there's no book, but 2, there's a book. And if you go in that order of reading, that's a good progression to get through the books properly.
I understand. Gotcha. So if you want to read your book, Jocko's book list
in order of importance,
you go in chronological order per podcast.
Yes,
with books.
That's recommended.
Because not all podcasts have books.
That's recommended.
Cool. Well, there it is. Again, just click on the books and boom, takes you there. Boom, click through there, get your book. Easy way, good way to support. Takes you to Amazon. All good. Continue shopping if you feel the need to. Like if you're shopping for Valentine's Day. No, that already passed. What's the next one? Easter. Carry on.
Easter gifts.
Sure.
Good.
Those chocolate Easter bunnies and the eggs. You know how you go Easter egg hunting, right? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, my kids do.
Sure.
Well, my youngest kid does.
Yeah. there you go.
My
so if
other
you're going to
kids
shop for that,
don't care.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know, they're older.
After a while, you kind of figure it out. Kind of.
Mm.
Still fun, though. Can be. Nonetheless, click through. That's a good way to support. Also, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Leave a review. If you're in the mood, leave a review. Here's the thing. I'm not saying, hey, leave a review. I'm not saying to leave a review. But I think sometimes people, they want to leave a review, but they don't think about it, you know? Mm. And then when, let's say I get reminded, like, oh, shoot, I want to leave a review. And I get reminded, I'm like, boom, then I'm going to go leave a review. That's a good one.
I read all the reviews.
Yeah.
And I've read them on the podcast before when they're really funny, or I've quoted them on social media.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you write an awesome review, well, it doesn't have to be awesome, but if it's funny or it's good or it's creative, that's what I should have said. If it's a creative review, there's been some really good ones. Same thing with Amazon reviews for tea and books and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that get after it.
They get colorful for sure. I don't say colorful.
They put the main thing is layers. They put a lot of layers in there. So
Bro, some people are real good at the layers. Mm. Very impressed with that on many levels. See
I see what you did.
Nonetheless, subscribe if you if you want to support that way. That's a good way. Thanks for the people who have subscribed. That's a good deal.
It's much appreciated.
Big deal. Also on YouTube, subscribe to that if you want. If you like the video version of this podcast, or if you want to watch and or share excerpts of this podcast. 3 minutes, 1 minute sometimes.
You haven't made any 1 minute ones.
6 minutes sometimes.
You should make some 1 minute ones.
Okay.
That'd be good. The one you just made is good.
Thanks.
The time is running out.
Yeah, that's like a, what do you call it? Did we settle on
enhanced?
A name? Enhanced. I think it's called enhanced excerpt.
Enhanced excerpts, which means that Echo has gone and put his cinematic flair.
No, I would say I put some music on it and I put some text on it. There it is. Boom. Just enhanced. It's enhanced a little bit. That's all.
Cinematic flair there.
Yeah. All right. Well, there it is. There's some of those on there.
That video
as well.
By the way, no big deal. I when I got to the gym today, Carl, he's like, hey,
Santiago.
Yeah, Carl. He says, hey, I saw you on World Star.
That's when you know you made it.
We made it.
Straight up. Yeah. Popular culture. Yeah.
Popular culture. We're on World Star. World Star. If you don't know what World Star is, it originally was for fights. That's what I knew it for.
Yeah, that's how it. I think that's how it gained.
Yeah,
I think it was
just
for
scraps.
It was for like music videos. I think hip hop music videos and stuff like that. Then you get stuff.
I would watch it because people would film street fights, and I like to watch street fights. Sure. You can learn a lot from street fights. Yep. And what's funny is it became such a popular culture thing that when people would be recording the fights that they're going to then put on World Star, they would be saying World Star.
World Star. Yeah.
During the fight, someone would be filming and saying, World Star, this is going on World Star.
Yeah.
Well, now guess what's on World Star? Echo's video. We made it.
Jocko's on World Star. World Star. Dang. That's good. Nonetheless.
Cross-cultural boundaries.
Yeah.
Hey, World Star.
World Star.
Make it happen.
Yeah, you did. 100%. But yeah, YouTube, subscribe to
all
that.
my people at World Star, thanks for putting me on there.
Yeah, that was good. That is good.
Awesome.
So yeah, YouTube. Good one. Good way to support. Also, Jocko has a store. It's called Jocko Store, obviously. JockoStore.com, obviously. That's where you can get shirts, t-shirts, some travel mugs on there, some rash guards, more rash guards. This is like Jocko gear rash guards. So compared to, how would you compare them to the Origin? Because actually,
they're made by Origin.
Yeah, they're similar. They're it's kind of, they're more like geared toward Jocko.
Well,
path.
Yeah, let's say this, that from a visual perspective, there's a way that Jocko gear looks, and there's a way that Origin gear looks. Yeah. There's some areas that overlap. Mm-hmm. There's some areas that don't overlap.
Yeah.
Some of the, let's call them color combinations that my brother Pete Roberts puts together, they wouldn't be allowed in the Jocko store.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be Jocko gear.
Correct.
And there's some things that Jocko gear does that wouldn't be appropriate for Origin because Origin is a little bit in the other direction.
Sure. Yeah.
The overlapping areas, all good.
Yeah.
But if you want your gear made in America, there's one place to get it done right. Yep. That's our factory up in Maine.
True story. So yeah, boom, you can get rash guards there as well. Some patches. Those are restocked. A lot of people were hitting me up. That's why for patches.
Yeah. It's weird that people have to hit you up that you just don't pay attention to the stock and say, wow, running low. I should order more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's not that important to you.
No, it's important. So I got a handle on it, and I think I have a solid system where, we're going to run into way less of that, if any, of that
type
of situation. Unless some women's stuff on there, some hats on there.
Because it does mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
That's cool.
So maybe I should be more, I should do a better job of expressing how important it is to me for people if they want patches to be able to get one.
Yeah.
Maybe I obviously haven't done a good job.
Yeah, it's your fault. It's your fault.
It is.
So yeah, jockostore.com. That's a good way to support. Also, Psychological Warfare. If you don't know what that is, that's an album. An album. Not a music album. It's a
spoken word.
Spoken word with tracks, Jocko tracks. And each track is designated, formulated, engineered. It's engineered is what it is. To help you through little points of weakness that you might run into on your campaign against weakness. Like if you want to skip. I always say, if you want to skip the workout, if you're like, hey, I'm too tired, I don't feel like it. I start with that one because that's essentially why this whole thing exists. Because that was the issue.
That was the genesis of this album.
Yeah.
Was Echo questioning how he could overcome these moments of weakness, or how I do. And then I kind of answered one of them, and he said, we should record those things.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that I asked you that before, and it wasn't that specific question, but it was essentially that question. And be like, hey, what do you do? And then you kind of gave me a look, and more like as if your feelings don't matter kind of thing. And you basically pulled the Jocko and was like, doesn't matter if you feel like it or not kind of thing.
I got asked this similar. Someone said, hey, can you tell us a little bit more about your morning routine? Like what you, like, so, I know you get up early, but can you tell us more about your morning routine? I was like, yeah, listen. My morning routine is extremely, extremely important. Yeah. So here's the steps of the Jocko morning routine. First of all, you set your alarm clock. You set all your alarm clocks. You set the first one at 4:30. You set the next one at 4:35. You set the next one at 4:40. And you have your backups. By the way, you don't set your backups at the same time because you don't want to be fumbling around with 3 alarm clocks in the morning.
It's a good tip.
Then you get done with that. Then when the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, then you go, and it's important that you get your toothbrush out. And then I brush, and then I use 46 brush strokes on each side of my mouth. And no more, no less. And then I spit 3 times into this. So yeah. I'm like, here's the morning routine, dude. You get up and you go.
Yeah. Well, then again.
Routine. No, I know.
Right,
I know. But it's like the reality is someone going to write down my morning routine and then follow the exact same thing? And would that be good for him?
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, here's the morning routine then. Get up and go.
Get up and get after it. Yeah. But here's some people they focus on, and this can be beneficial from what I hear. They focus on, or they identify certain things they do in a morning routine that helps them, that sets them up mentally or whatever.
I'm not anti-morning routine, and I actually wrote about it in the field manual. It's like the morning routine starts the night before.
Yeah.
The morning routine starts when you get your gear ready because you don't want to be fumbling around in the morning. Don't set yourself up to fumble around with things in the morning, right? That's just a bad thing. Don't do that. Yeah. So you have your gear ready. For me, I'm very systematic in pretty much the way I roll. Saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But I have all my workout gear is in the bathroom on hangers. Pair of shorts, shirt on each hanger. There's 6 of them. They're all the same. There's no thought process that's needed. They're all matching. Yeah. And I have the same kind of socks. All my socks are the same. I do have black socks and white socks, but one drawer is just completely white socks, all the same. Mm-hmm. You grab those, you put those on, boom. You brush your teeth, boom. I take my supplements in the morning and at night, but I take my krill oil and my joint warfare, boom. And then I go hit it.
How much water do you drink?
I drink when I'm thirsty. I drink, and then if I don't measure it. Yeah.
So you don't be like, okay.
No.
Makes it. I dig it.
I drink when I'm thirsty. I eat when I'm hungry.
But if you drink water when you're thirsty, you're already 2% dehydrated.
Okay. Well, I drink a little bit more. I drink about 3% more than than what I need.
All right, there you go. So you're 1% overhydrated or hydrated within. Nonetheless, but well, you know how like I'll drink a whole thing, like you know the mugs that we have, the travel, they're 30 ounces, by the way. Mm-hmm. I'll drink a whole thing of that, just routine. That's kind of the routine. But
like in the morning?
Yeah,
you pound it.
Sure, if you want to call it pounding.
Why do you do that?
Drink it
because you want to stay hydrated.
Yeah, but get the water back in there, man. Get it.
Okay,
that's all. It's good for you. Water is good for you, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's better than soda in the morning. You ever drink a Coke in the morning?
No,
bro. It's like the worst.
We did these monster mashes back in the terms, and so my son was doing a monster mash with us when he was like 6 or 7 years old. What's a monster mash? Is like you do rope climbs, then you do a sprint, then you do like a swim, and then you do pull-ups, and then they put little things in there sometimes. So one of the things that they had to do was drink a Coke through a straw. Yeah. So you're like doing pull-ups and a rope climb, and then they got a Coke.
You told me this.
Yeah, and so he I think that was the first time he ever tried soda. Yeah, and he's like,
yeah, you can't do that.
It was nasty.
It's
cured him of wanting soda though.
Yeah, there's two elements to drinking a soda, especially for the first time. Is it tastes weird,
sweet, sugary, and carbonated.
Yeah, the carbonated will burn your mouth. It feels like it's burning your mouth.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Yeah, you can't do that to your kid. It's messed up right in the middle of the workout too.
Check.
Don't do that. Well, but you keep in mind, you just described your morning routine. You answered the question that they were asking. You just answered it.
And that's why I said, look, I'm not trying to be negative against morning routines. Yeah, and there's pretty much what I do, but the reason is I think people think, if I knew your morning routine, then I'd know what the secret is. Yeah, it's like, hey man, the secret is get up and go do something. That's the secret.
Yeah.
I'm not going to here's the deal. I'm not going to sell you my morning routine as the solution to your problems. Now, I will say that if you fumble around in the morning, it's going to cause you problems throughout the day, so don't fumble around in the morning. Set your life up correctly so that you're not fumbling around.
That's good. I'm not going to sell you my morning routine as a solution to your problems.
Yes, I'm not going to do that. But I will say that if you do have a good system that you go through in the morning, it will set up your day correctly.
Yeah. That's why I think people ask.
That's why people want it, and I get it. Okay, so I'm not trying to be like a jerk, right? I'm not trying to be that negative. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm kind of making fun of morning.
Yeah, you're making fun.
I'm making fun of morning routines a little bit, but at the same time, I have one, and I stick to it.
Yeah, but I think what you said.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't actually have something, and I stick to it. Like I do. This is what it is. I follow the functional thing that works.
And you stick to it.
Yeah, and I stick to it. So that's that. But I didn't like design my morning routine, right? Yeah. I didn't say, I'm going to design this perfect routine. No, it's like I know what works. Yeah. It's functional, and that's what I do. Yeah. I do things that work.
Yeah, man. And everyone else wants to know what works.
Okay, well, there you
not everyone figured out on their own what works. So here's the thing. Your morning routine, you're ultimately right, and I think this is super important not to forget or not to like misinterpret, where you know you just the quote you just said, like your morning routine is not going to be the solution to your problems kind of thing. Right. I think that's what people do think. I think that here, someone with a level head, in my opinion, I don't know, but this is what it seems like, where someone with a level head and they want to look for just that one thing that's going to help them just a little bit, you know? So they're going to be like, hey, let me formulate a good morning routine. I don't know that much about effective routine, so let me look into that just as a little helper, not the solution to my problems, which I think some people may kind of miss.
No, you're right. And that's why, like I said, I'm not belittling the idea that a morning routine is helpful, because it certainly is. Yeah. It might add some tiny bit of help to your day if you're doing the right thing. Yeah. Some benefits, thank you. It might benefit your day, which is positive. Will it cure your overall problems of life? No, but you know what? It's a good place to start. Yeah. That's why we say wake up early, right?
Yeah, that's part of the routine.
Part of the routine. So
yeah, but even how you,
I guess I am being a jerk.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is what it seems like. Let me just get on a good morning routine. That's a good idea. I like it. Yeah.
I'm not trying to make fun of it. I was, but I'm not anymore.
It seems like you're making fun of it for people, because this is what it maybe sounded like when someone asks you, "What's your morning routine?" It sounds like you're kind of with this presumption, like you're presuming or assuming that they think it's going to solve all their problems. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounded like. I am being a jerk,
yeah.
Yes, but in that very specific direction.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
if someone says, hey, look, I'm always looking for things to benefit my day and my effectiveness. I do this and do that. And I found that this even helps a little bit here and there. Hey, what's your morning routine? Maybe I can incorporate one or more things of your routine maybe into mine.
You're
That'll
right.
give me a little bit of help too. I don't think you would have came off like
definitely.
that.
Definitely. That would have been a very good question. I would say,
Yeah.
oh yeah, here's what I do.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So even how you said the question, like you were kind of impersonating the
Yeah,
hypothetical
yeah.
person. You're like, what's your morning routine? Like making
Yeah.
them sound
I
all
used that
dorky.
voice.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry everyone.
No,
I'm a
it's
bad
all good.
person.
It's all good. We got to the bottom of it.
Speaking of you drinking water, another drink you can drink is you can drink something called Jocko white tea.
Sure.
It's available on Amazon. Now, this is the only tea available, not only in America, but in the world, that comes within 8,000-pound deadlift guarantee. So there's no other tea.
I never.
There's
seen
some
one.
out there that are they say 6,000. They say they can get you 6,000-pound deadlift.
Yeah.
I've seen 7,200. Right?
Sure.
72.
Yeah,
Did you see
yeah.
this? 72. Some teas, some white teas say they'll get you 7,200. There's
Yeah.
only one white tea that'll get you the guaranteed 8,000-pound deadlift.
Good. There's some layers on the tea, which I kind of remembered last time, but I didn't want to interrupt you talking. Is first episode of this podcast, absolute first one.
Oh yeah.
I think the only one that doesn't start with "This is Jocko Podcast."
That's because you had a different vision of the podcast.
At the time, Nonetheless, it started with
You were thinking this podcast is gonna be 100% cruising.
That's what it felt like. That first one, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like
no, in your mind.
Yeah.
In my
you're
mind.
right.
And if you listen,
yeah. Now you
could see I was not.
you're
I
right.
was not ready to cruise.
Yeah.
I came in there with a game plan,
Yeah.
and the game plan did not say cruise on it. The game plan said get after
What
it.
was funny is you shut it down so quick. Right when you heard it, you were like, "Hey, you want to cut it at this point, not the little like we just rolled into a conversation."
Yeah.
But here's the thing with that conversation, as far as the layers go, we talk about white tea.
Yeah, you called it chai.
Yeah, no, because I was trying to remember what kind of tea that was. I don't know about the tea, especially back then. Nonetheless, you were always on the pomegranate.
Yeah.
White.
That started it when I was in the dirt.
That's how.
So, anyways, you can get that. You can get it on Amazon, and then you can start deadlifting properly.
Yeah.
There's some books that you can get. Way of the Warrior Kid. I get questions all the time about how you should raise your kids, and not just how to raise them, because I think people know how to raise them, but they not how to raise them, but how to raise them. Like they know what they want the kids to. They know the values that they want the kids to have, but they're not sure how to give them the values.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They don't know how to do that. So, real simple. Get them this book, Way of the Warrior Kid. That's discipline, eating habits, working out, dealing with bullies, how to study. All those things are in there. These are the things you want, not just your kid, but the children of the world to have these type of qualities. And now, on top of that, we have Way of the Warrior Kid 2, which is called Mark's Mission. This talks about some important lessons: controlling your temper, overcoming fear of failure, working hard, saving money, being frugal, dealing with verbal abuse, helping other people, starting businesses. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
And becoming a leader. Again, there's no human being that would look at the lessons from Way of the Warrior Kid and say, I don't want my kid to have that quality. No, the qualities are in there.
Yeah.
So there's that. And if you want a good example of a warrior kid, check out IrishOaksRanch.com, where you can get soap that's handmade by young Aiden, who's 12 years old, but he has a business. No big deal. He's making soap.
Yeah. What's interesting?
Goat milk soap.
Yeah, that soap's actually good, like to use.
Oh, for sure.
Let's face it. You know how you have your friend and his wife makes soap on the weekend.
Sympathy purchase scenario.
Yeah, and you got some, and it's beautiful.
Scenario.
It has the little packaging, and then you say, "All right, it's soap. Let me go ahead and use some soap." And you're like, "Bro, this isn't like usable soap. This is a novelty decorative item."
It was a cool little educational experience because he asked me. He was making soap, and he reached out to me. His dad is a farmer, also a firefighter, but he's a farmer. Anyways, his dad and I were connected. I buy meat from his dad, and he said, "Oh, my son wants to get in touch with you." But so as we're going through the process, he sends me like his label for the soap.
Yeah.
And it looked nice, but went back with this needs to be in OCR standard.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, it's a cool little learning process. And yeah, you can get that soap. You can support a kid that's a warrior kid. And the Jocko soap motto, which I give Aiden no credit for. Sorry, Aiden.
Yeah, man.
You're a good kid, but you didn't think of this. It took the masterful marketing mind of Jocko to come up with the motto for Jocko soap, which is stay clean.
It's good.
And there's some layers on that too, right?
Yeah, I guess. What's the layers?
Motorhead song.
Oh, all right. There you go. And you like Motorhead.
And I am a huge fan of Motorhead.
And you don't do any drugs, so there's that.
The reason that whenever I talk to people or people talk to me on through social media or email, and they've had a drug problem or an alcohol problem, and I always kind of sign off like, "Hey, stay clean." Stay clean. So, because that's also what Lemmy from Motorhead was saying. Stay clean. Like, don't let this kill you. Now, Lemmy from Motorhead was a rare dude who did a lot of drugs and alcohol and somehow was able to survive very well up to when he died, drinking incredible amounts of Jack Daniels.
Dang. Yeah, those some legit layers.
But he always would say, "Don't do it."
Yeah.
He's a guy that would say, "Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do what people do. Don't do drugs."
Yeah. Stay clean.
Stay clean. There you go. In addition to that, got another book called The Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual. And if this is a good point. If you know someone that's off the path, right? Like, people go off the path in life. And it doesn't take, we talked about this last time, it doesn't take but one step off the path when you're on a slippery slope.
Yep.
It's a slippery slope when you step off the path. So if you know someone that has taken a step off the path and they're starting to slide down, get them this book to get them on the path, the right path. And there's also a chance that the person that stepped off the path is you. So get the field manual. It's got the thoughts and actions that are required to be on the right path. Make yourself better, faster, stronger, smarter. Anything else? More physically fit and healthier.
Mm-hmm.
The audio version of that is on iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play, other MP3 platforms. It's not on Audible because then you can't have it as an album with tracks, which we obviously support. Extreme Ownership, the first book I wrote with my brother, Leif Babin. Over 1 million copies sold. That's a lot of copies sold.
Yes, sir. It is.
That's a lot of copies sold. You know how many copies they told us would be successful? Because we didn't know Leif and I didn't know anything about the publishing world.
Wait, what do you mean?
When the book was getting ready to come out, and we were talking to the publisher. Leif and I were talking to the publisher, and he says, if this is a successful book, then it'll be good to see. Blah blah blah. And I said,
that's like the standard, like a certain amount. That's officially when you're considered successful.
So I said, hey, I don't know anything about this. What is considered to be a successful book? Yeah. You know what the number was? 20,000 books.
Dang.
He goes, we're printing 12,000 on this first run, and if you we'll print some more. But if you can sell 20,000 books, that's a huge success, and we'll be proud. So here we are. We're 1 million deep. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Leif Babin.
Good job. Good job, both of you guys.
Yeah. Leif tells a story that we got home from Ramadi, and the only time I ever told him anything positive was when we got home, and we'd been home for like 2 weeks. And I told him and the Delta platoon commander, "Hey, good job over there." So yeah, I likes to keep it real.
Yeah, man. And actually, you know what though? Good job over there seems real simple, but I'm sure in that context, it was probably the most loaded.
Yeah.
Good job anyone's ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe you're correct. Beyond the books and beyond the podcast, also Echelon Front, speaking of Leif and me, this is our leadership and management consulting company. This is the thing. This is a bold statement, right? Every problem in every organization is leadership problem. That's a bold statement to make.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again. Every problem in every organization is a leadership problem. So if there's a problem in an organization, the problem, it boils down to leadership on some level. So what we do is we fix the leadership, and thereby we fix your problems. It's me, it's Leif Babin, it's JP Donnell, it's Dave Burke. Good deal, Dave Burke.
Good deal, Dave.
If you want to get in touch with us to have us come out and work with your company, get your leadership aligned, go to info@echelonfront.com, or you email info@echelonfront.com, or you can go to the website echelonfront.com. And of course, we are approaching the muster, the leadership seminar. You learn tactics of leadership. You learn strategies of leadership. You learn pragmatic techniques you can execute as a leader that will make you and your team win. We already expanded the floor. So we expanded the floor as much as we could already because the ticket sales are going quickly. And so we've got both places that we're doing the muster. We've got them expanded as much as we can. It doesn't matter. They're both of them are going to sell out. Doing 2 this year only. Washington, D.C., May 17th and 18th, and San Francisco, October 17th and 18th. The whole team will be there, and we will be with you if you come. We'll be hanging out. We'll be answering questions. We'll be talking. We'll be eating lunch. We'll be hanging out, working out with all of you that come. There's no green room. There's no backstage where Leif is sitting back there in the backstage with cucumbers on his eyes to relax. That's not happening. No. We're hanging out, all of us. So you can register for that at extremeownership.com. We'll see you there. And until the muster, you can find us by interacting and conversing and cruising with us on the interwebs, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on that facey boy. Echo is at Echo Charles, and I am at Jocko Willink.